Assalamualaikum students. Today is Friday 17 July 2020. It's our third week and today we are going to do its last part, that is tenses. Tenses basically tell us the time of an action. The verb we use to define an action form can be simple, continuous, perfect or perfect continuous. Understand? Tense tells us the time of an action. The verb we use to describe that action can be of three forms, that are present, past and future. In our previous classes we learned and practiced indefinite forms, indefinite tenses. Today we are going to do present continuous tense, then we will do past continuous tense and future continuous. But our today topic is present continuous tense. Present means happening or existing now, just at this time, and continuous means continual or repeating many times, something being repeated again and again. So in present continuous tense we will discuss an action that is happening repeatedly. We will discuss an action, we will come to know about an action that is going to happen again and again. For example, I am reading a book, she is stitching her dress, or boys are flying hockey, etc. Now we will discuss when we are going to use present continuous tense. Present continuous tense is used for an action going on at the time of speaking. इस टेंस को आप उस वक्त यूज़ करते हैं जब आप किसी ऐसे काम के बारे में बताएंगे जिस काम के बारे में आप उसी वक्त बात कर रहे हो. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, शी इज़ रीडिंग और आई एम टीचिंग, यू आर लर्निंग. Understand? Present continuous tense is used for an action going on at the time of speaking. An example is she is reading. Number 2, this tense is used for a temporary action which may not be actually happening at the time of speaking. In the first rule we learned that it is used for an action going on at the time of speaking. In the rule number 2 we have learned that it is used for a temporary action which may not be actually happening at the time of speaking. For example, I am learning French at school. कि मैं स्कूल में फ्रेंच ज़बान सीख रहा हूँ. फ्रेंच मीन्स द फ्रेंच लैंग्वेज, the language of France. Number 3, this tense is used for an action that has already been arranged to take place in the near future. In this rule you will come to know that it describes an action that has already been planned or arranged that will happen in the coming time, in the near future. For example, I am leaving by the night train, कि मैं आज रात की ट्रेन से चला जाऊंगा. ओके, नाउ वी विल डिस्कस some example and then I will tell you how you will translate Urdu sentences into English. In daily life you listen or you come to know about different sentences that end like these. मैं अपना सबक याद कर रहा हूँ, वो अपना काम कर रहा है, तुम ये क्या कर रहे हो, मैं ये काम नहीं कर रहा हूँ, परिंदे हवा में नहीं उड़ रहे हैं. Like these. These are the examples of present continuous tense. In an affirmative or simple sentence, the Urdu sentence ends at the word रहा हूँ, रहा है, रही है, रहे हैं. And when you translate this sentence into English, first of all you use the subject, then helping verb, main verb and object. मैं अपना सबक याद कर रहा हूँ. I am learning my lesson. In negative sentences नेगेटिव मीन्स द सेंटेंस दैट कंटेन्स द वर्ड नॉट, नहीं, वो अपना सबक याद नहीं कर रहा है. ही इज़ नॉट लर्निंग हिज लेसन. ही इज़ द सब्जेक्ट, is helping verb, not to define the negativity, and learning is the main verb, his lesson is the object. Okay, sometimes you question about some action, क्या वो खेल रहे हैं, क्या वो खाना खा रहा है, क्या परिंदे हवा में उड़ रहे हैं. In these sentences, interrogative sentences, you use the helping verb in the start of the sentence and then subject and other things. Okay, now I will define what is the method for translation of present continuous sentence into English. Okay, Urdu identification. When you have sentences in your exams, in your papers, or in your classwork, you are asked to translate or to identify which sentences belong to present continuous tense. The sentences which end at the words रहा है, रही है, रहा हूँ, रहे हैं. When you read these sentences and when you look at the last words of these sentences, you will at once come to the conclusion that these sentences belong to the present continuous tense. And you will start translating those sentences. First of all, you will define where is the subject, who is the doer of an action. Subject, then you will use the helping verb according to the subject, then the main verb, the main action you will describe, and at the end you will use the object. In some sentences there are no objects, but if there is object in the Urdu sentence, you have to translate it. For example, he is helping the poor. He is subject, is helping verb, helping main verb, the poor is object. Okay, she is cooking rice. She is subject, is helping verb, cooking main verb, and rice is object. He is running. In this sentence we have no object. He is subject, is helping verb, and running is the main verb. This is also the sentence of present continuous tense. When you translate sentences from Urdu into English, after the subject, and subject are the persons or the doer of action, that can be I, we, you, he, she, it, and they. After these subject, you will use helping verbs. In present continuous tense, you use the helping verbs is, am, are. The first helping verb is will be used with the third person singular. Third person singular, that are he, she, it, any singular noun or any name. Clear? The helping verb is will be used after the subject he, she, it, any name or any singular noun. The second helping verb is am. You have to remember that the helping verb am is only and only used with the subject I. Am is only used after the subject I in present continuous tense. Am is not at all used with any other subject. For example, I am doing my work. I am learning my lesson. I am going to visit my uncle tomorrow. Understand? The third helping verb is are, and are is used with first person plural we. We are. Second person singular and plural both will take the helping verb are, and that is you. You are. You singular or you plural both will take the helping verb are. And the third person plural, that is they. They are. Clear? I am, he is, she is, it is, Shahid is, Shaista is, the dog is, the cat is, the bird is. and are will be used with the plural nouns. For example, we are, you are, and they are, children are, boys are, birds are. Clear? The verb. Main verb means the word that will define or that will describe or that will determine the main action. The action you have to translate in the English. First of all, in the indefinite tenses you use the first form of verbs, but in continuous tenses you have to use present participle form of verb, that is also called the fourth form of verb, and it is made by adding ing at the end of first form. For example, make will become in the fourth form making, go will become going, read will become reading, stitch will become stitching, run will become running. There are some special changes in the spellings of some words. You should be careful about that. Okay? These are the two basic points, helping verbs and present participle form of the verb. In positive sentence, the arrangement of sentence is subject plus helping verb plus main verb plus subject. But in negative sentence, we have to add a word not. In Urdu sentence, you have the word nahi, and when you are going to translate that nahi into English, you will use the word not after the helping verbs. For example, I am not, you are not, we are not, he is not, she is not, it is not, they are not. Clear? For example, I am not reading the book, you are not learning your lesson, the bird is not flying in the air, they are not playing football in the ground. Clear? When you are asked to translate an interrogative sentence, the sentence that is also contains some question, some query, some investigation, that is interrogative sentence. And when you have to translate that sentence, you will first of all use the helping verb in the start of the sentence. The helping verb that was used in after the subject in the positive sentence, in the affirmative sentence, that helping verb will come in the start of the sentence. For example, am I, are we, are you, are they, is he, is she, is Abid, is Shaista, etc. And at the end of that sentence, you will use a question mark. If there is no question mark, it will not be considered a question sentence or interrogative sentence. Okay, and half marks are deducted when you don't use a question mark at the end of interrogative sentences. Okay, I think it is clear how you have to translate Urdu sentences into English when you have some sentences from present continuous tense. Clear? The Urdu identification is raha hai, rahi hai, raha hu, rahe hain. And when you start to translate those sentences in English, first of all you use the subject, then helping verb is am/are, then the fourth form of verb that is also called the present participle form, and it is used by adding ing at the end of the first form, and then you add object. Clear? In negative sentence you use not after the helping verbs, and in the interrogative sentence helping verbs are used in the start of sentence, and at the end of interrogative sentence you have to use the question mark. Home assignment. I am giving you some sentences. You have to translate these sentences into English. मैं सच बोल रहा हूँ, शाजिया कपड़े धो रही है, अली आम नहीं खा रहा है, हम टीवी देख नहीं रहे हैं, क्या वो झूठ बोल रहा है. You can identify that all these sentences are ending with the words रहा हूँ, रही है, रहा है, रहे हैं. Clear? It's your home assignment. Listen the lecture carefully and learn the method, and then translate these sentences into English. This is your home assignment. Be careful about the use of helping verbs and the main form of the verb. Then translate into English and send this home assignment in the group of English of 7th class. Okay, thank you, goodbye.